The Risk and Compliance Management tool helps compliance practices centralize their clients' compliance-related information and activities, giving them big picture reports of their status in the various risk and compliance areas and the ability to drill down into the details. Under Risk Management, we've got categories ranging from TCF to phase, FICA, General Code of Conduct, and more. You can tell us which categories you want, and we'll create them especially for you. Let's look at treating customers fairly as an example. As a FSP, I'll continue with the TCF assessment that we've started earlier. Each assessment is divided into two sections. Firstly, the graphs showing the assessment's progress, and secondly, the actual assessment. Let's first look at the actual assessment. We see a list of the TCF criteria or statements as published by the FSB. It's grouped by outcome and category. We've previously assessed some of these statements, and that information is indicated on the right. For each statement, we can see the different levels of risk, how compliant our FSP is, who the responsible people are, their commitment date to be fully compliant, and when the statement was last updated. To assess a statement, I click on the statement. I indicate the risk rating, how compliant we currently are. I set the commitment date and indicate who the responsible people are. I could also upload supporting documentation in PDF, Word, Excel, or image formats, and add any notes. Save. The TCF assessment is updated with the information. I can also review and update any of the information in previously assessed statements. In this case, we've uploaded supporting documentation which I can download. I can also assign tasks to people, describe the task to be completed, and set its due date. These tasks are now related to the applicable statement. Incomplete tasks from different assessments appear in the person's task dashboard, which can be found under Tasks and Risk Management Tasks. The Quick Filter is a super handy tool to find and work with your statements and information. As example, I'm looking for all statements in the governance category. Only 5 out of the more than 120 statements contain the word governance. I might be looking specifically for those where Joey is responsible, or those with low risk, or all statements with the commitment date in August. The permutations are endless. If you need to convert this assessment to a report, you can export the information using a number of different options. Copy the information to be pasted somewhere else, export as a comma-delimited file, or Excel, or PDF, or print directly from your web browser. Back to the graph section. We see the FSP's overall progress towards being fully compliant in TCF. Their risk profile shows the distribution of risk between low, medium and high risks and how compliant they are. There are a number of ways of looking at the compliance progress. One way is to look at the outcomes. Another is to look at the different categories. The Financial Services Board provided the statements for the TCF assessment, and we've preloaded them into the tool. All the other risk management categories, such as phase, FICA, and General Code of Conduct, work in exactly the same way as what you've just seen. As a compliance officer, you can formulate your own criteria and statements to reflect your unique interpretation of the law for each of these categories. Let's look at how you can add additional statements to the phase assessment. If we go to the phase assessment, we see that 5 statements have already been loaded. As a compliance officer, you have access to your statements. Go to Statements, click on Add a Statement, then select the category, the outcome, subcategory if applicable. Give the statement a reference, and then define your statement. You can describe it further and then save. The new statement is now on your list of statements across all your categories. If we go back to the phase assessment and refresh the page, you'll see that the newly added statement is available for assessment under phase. In summary, phase works in exactly the same way as our first TCF assessment example. You can assess each statement, use the quick filter to find relevant statements and information, and export your data at any time.